Well, that's not good. If you're getting this code on your washing machine, E4F4, that can cover a lot of different things. I'm Fabriktr. Why don't you join me today and let's see if we can fix this thing. First thing to do is disconnect the power. Right back there on the wall. Leave it disconnected for about 5 minutes and then plug it back in. Sometimes that'll reset the computer if it's just a false code. That might work for you. If that doesn't work, then we'll go on to the next step. This drawer down here at the bottom has the drain filter in it. We want to drain the water out of the drain filter, and then we're going to clean it out. It's right down here. See that? Unscrew that. Let the water drain out into a pan. There's a little black hose right over here. You can take that hose loose and drain some more water out. Clean up the little plastic baffle in there, put it back together again, and then you're done down here. Okay, those error codes also cover this switch. This is where the door closes. That white piece in there is a little switch. But since the indicator on my display was showing that the door is locking and I can hear it clicking, I believe that this is not going to be a problem. So I'm not going to check that out. The next thing we need to check out is the vent fan. There's 3 screws that's going to take off the top of this washing machine. There's one here, one in the center, and one over here. It's a 5/16 socket. You can just use a small ratchet to get those off. You don't even have to have much clearance at the back. We're going to take off the top and we'll look inside there and look for the vent fan. Well, this is the inside of the top of the washing machine, and the vent fan is right back here in this box. This is its little manifold. Here is the switch connection, or the wire connection going to the fan. These 2 black wires go to the fan. I've cut this tie wrap off of here. You can put your voltmeter in there and check for continuity right there, and disconnect this wire and check it from the other side. If you've got no continuity between those 2 black wires, your vent fan is probably toast. And the computer is seeing that as an open circuit, so it's not going to run the rest of the cycles of the washing machine. Okay, here's the little manifold box and the fan. This is the side that sucks the air. It brings it in from the back through a vent back here, and it blows air down through this tube, and it goes into the top of the drum. That just helps it dry out in there, I guess. Now, you can take this fan off of here. There's just 2 screws that hold it in. It's just a little muffin fan. When they sell this thing, though, they sell it as a complete unit with the manifold box. Depending on the various sellers, the internet says it's $100 to $174, depending on the vendor that you buy it from. I looked up one vendor and it was $137 for that fan. I consider that to be a little bit expensive for a muffin fan. I'm going to look for something else. Well, this is our cute little muffin fan out of its manifold. What we want to see here is if it's house current. Yeah, this is 115 volts AC. So they're not stepping down the voltage or changing it to DC or anything like that. So that means polarity is not important. AC only, it doesn't matter. It only runs one direction. So we're going to find a little fan for that. Mrs. Fabriktr went on Amazon and came up with this little beauty here. There's the number for it. This is a 3-inch muffin fan. There we go. Oh man, look at all this cool stuff. It's got a wire connector right here and some standoffs and screws. It actually has a power cord with a switch. Wow, that's cool. And it's got a couple guards. We're not going to use those guards. This is says 100 to 104 or 100 volts to 240 volts, so it'll run just fine. And that's AC. So we'll open that up and we'll hook it up to this right here. And we'll plug it in using this and we'll just give it a quick test. Sorry you did not get to see that number. And here it is again. I'll move it a little bit there in case there's a glare on it. And I forgot to mention the price. That was a whopping $15, $15 from Amazon. So if that works, it's going to save us a ton of money. Okay, we want to install it in the box. It looks like that when it's installed there. And the airflow needs to go this way into the tube. Okay, to install the manifold, it's got two little clips, one here and one on the other side. You can just hook those clips through the back of the washing machine and it'll hold the box right there in place for you while you start the screws. Now with the fan manifold installed, we need to hook up the wires. So what I did is I just stripped back the two red wires here on the OEM plug, and I just soldered the wires right to it. You can cut this completely off if you don't mind losing that connector. You know, just you can use crimp connectors, wire nuts, or whatever you're happy with, but I tend to default to a soldered connection. That way I know it's going to make continuity. I'll tape this up and I'll secure the wires so that they don't shake around when the washer is running. Okay, let's put those small zip ties up there. Got that. And then we just need to put this hose back on the manifold and we're ready to close up the top of the box, or the top of the washer. Okay, it's time to give this thing a try. We'll see if it's going to work. That's looking pretty good so far. It hasn't thrown any codes. Yeah, I really like this machine. It's been a pretty good washer. And I'd like to get a lot more years of use out of it. Hey, I'm going to call that a result. I'll give this thing a test on various different settings and make sure it works just fine. Hey, now for the disclaimer. You know, this repair assumes that you have the basic mechanical and electrical skills, and you have to take full responsibility for your own repairs and any parts that you substitute, of course. Hey, this repair worked good for my machine, but obviously there can be many failure points in a complex machine like this. So I only addressed a failure of the fan. Hey, we're going to take that fan motor out to the shop and we'll take it apart and try to figure out how it failed. Well, here's the little data plate on that motor. You can see it's 115 volts AC. The motor is a modern component. It's made to just be thrown away when it needs repaired. You can't take it apart and fix it. So I had to cut it apart and find out what was inside of it, and I was quite surprised. Look at all the stuff we got in here. We got a step-down transformer. We got a couple capacitors to smooth out voltage spikes. And surprisingly, look at this. We have a black wire and a red wire, which means something's being converted to DC, I believe, because that means it's kind of polarity sensitive. So this board right here is probably a regulator and rectifier, which will change it to a DC current to run a DC fan motor. We'll hook this up to a DC battery and we'll see if that fan works. Now let's see if we can hold on to this little motor and see if it still works. And we'll hook up the negative over here to the black wire. Hey, there we go. Okay, the DC fan motor did not fail. So, The failure point is right in here with all these electronics. Okay, hey, I'm Fabriktr. Thanks for joining me. That repair saved me a lot of money. $137 for a fan motor, and no telling what the service call would have cost. Maybe $150, $200. It just depends on what part of the country you live in. So anyways, thanks for joining me. Goodbye.